In this example, we have a non-calculator multiple choice question. Let's read the prompt and see if we can figure out what the correct answer is. The acceleration of a particle moving along the x-axis at time t is given by a of t is equal to 6t minus 2. So we're given an acceleration function here. If the velocity is 25, so let's break that down. That means that v of 3, so it's the velocity is 25 when t is 3, so v of 3 is 25. How you'd represent that in function notation. And also the position is 10 when t is 1, and we're using here x of t to indicate that position, so we'll stick with that function notation here. So x of 1, or time 1, the position is 10. If we think about this, we've got to take the derivative or antiderivative, twice to go backwards from acceleration to velocity and then finally to position. So our solution pathway for this problem is going to be first find the velocity using the given information, and then we'll use the velocity to find the position. To find the velocity of this particular particle is going to be the integral or the antiderivative of 6t minus 2, which is your acceleration function. To find the antiderivative here, we will use the power rule in reverse. So our first term is 6t. Antiderivative will be 3t squared. And then the antiderivative of negative 2 is negative 2t. And then, of course, plus c. To figure out what that plus c is, we're going to use this information right here, that v at 3 is 25, or the velocity is 25 when t is 3. That's also given to you here in the prompt. So we'll substitute a 25 in for the velocity, and then we'll substitute a 3 in for t. So 3 squared is 9. So we'll do 3 times 9 minus 2 times 3, which is 6, and then plus c. So on the right-hand side, we'll have 27 minus 6, which is 21, making c 4 for this one. Now, we're also going to need to take the antiderivative of that velocity function again. So if we do that, we're gonna find that the x of t, or the position of t, is going to be the antiderivative of, and then we'll have 3t squared minus 2t, and then we actually have that value of c now, which is positive 4. So I'm kind of working down the road a little bit here, and we've got our differential dt on the right. So if we find the antiderivative of that right-hand side, that works out to be, let's see, t to the third. We would add 1 to this exponent right here and then divide by the new exponent. So that would be t to the third. And then we've got minus t squared. That's the antiderivative of negative 2t plus 4t, and then plus c. We need to use our other given information, which is right here, and also listed in the prompt, that the position is 10 when t is equal to 1. So x of t is our position. We'll replace that with 10. 1 to the third is 1. 1 squared is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. And then we'll have our constant over here. So the 1 minus 1, those cancel. And then we'll subtract 4 from each side, making c equal to 6. So we're going to use this line right here, and we're going to go ahead and just write that out. So x of t is equal to t to the third minus t squared plus 4t plus 6. And that happens to be choice C on the multiple guess question.